Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Rockstar Life Simulator, developed and published by Hogo Games, released in early access and selling for $13. So, I'm not even going to bother asking what is this game because it's pretty self-explanatory, but is this game legit? Like, that's the real reason why anyone is here checking out this video. So, let's dive right into it and find out for ourselves, shall we? Okay, so basically, as far as the story goes, you're a rocker who wants to become a star, but you start off poor as can be, living in a crappy little rundown house/apartment thing, and you gotta work your way up from the bottom by playing one gig after another. Starting off on the street, then once you get more popular, you move to a bar, and so on and so forth. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the story. Follow your dreams to become the ultimate rock star. So, as always, let's go into the good and the bad, followed by my final thoughts, shall we? Okay, so up first, we're going into the positives, and the first positive I got here is the sound quality. Now, I've got something negative to say as well, which is kind of a minor point, so I'm just going to say it now. It has no ambiance. Considering the fact that you're living in a big, popular, rich city, you'd expect there to be more background noise, just something, anything, but there just isn't. There's nothing there. It's kind of unnerving. But the game does feature partial voice acting whenever you talk to someone, and the music is actually kinda kick-ass. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna show you much because I'm worried about possible copyright, but here's 5 seconds of some of the awesome music that you'll get to experience in this game. Wasn't that awesome? Every song you play in this game has that kind of quality, and it gets better and better, and it's pretty amazing to listen to while you're playing. But of course, there's only music when you yourself are the one playing the music. There's no music anywhere else. The next positive I want to talk about is the price tag. Considering it's early access and it's unfinished, plus all the stuff included in the game currently, its price tag is actually incredibly appropriate. So I just wanted to really say that if you're thinking of buying this game, you're not going to have to worry about spending a whole lot of money on something that's going to end up sucking. It's actually it's very decently priced. Next up is the stability and the tutorial. So the stability is great. The game played really smooth, no bugs, no glitches, no clipping or frame rate dropping, at least for me. But despite the fact I didn't experience any glitches, they did have the courtesy to place an unstuck button on the menu screen, just in case, which is fine. As for the tutorial, it's simple, goes in line with the game's limited story, it's easy to understand, and within minutes you're going to know how to play the game and what's expected of you. So that's always nice and always something that I want to make special mention of. Last but not least for the positives is the gameplay. So, let's see. Well, in the game you have a hunger meter and a bladder meter. You got to keep them both at appropriate levels, even if that means peeing in public. Yes, you can do that. And find whatever food you can. The game allows you to write your own songs in a QTE minigame sequence, which if you don't know what QTE stands for, it's QuickTime Event. Then once you book a venue somewhere, you can play the songs that you wrote in another QTE minigame sequence, all while listening to some kick-ass music. And the best part for me was how the button mashing lined up perfectly with the beat of each song. I'm not normally a big fan of QTEs, but I don't mind them that much. So when you're playing them and the keys are lining up with the music, it really makes you feel like you're actually the one playing the song yourself. You can also get drunk at the bar, which messes with your vision. You can hit on the ladies at the bar and nowhere else, apparently. You can buy new clothes and accessories, which increase your overall charm, which is important because you need more charm to write better and better songs, along with helping you score with the ladies. But I think that's all you need it for. Honestly, I just really care about writing better and better songs and listening to them because in my opinion, they were actually pretty catchy and fun to just overall listen to. I don't really like how there's no singer, just the instruments, but you know, that's fine I guess. You can get into brawls, you can buy decorations for your home, you could buy a motorcycle or a fancy new car or a better home once you're more rich. You can get a part-time job, each with their own little minigame, and all of this is in the incomplete early access version of the game. It's interesting just how much is here in the gameplay to kind of make it feel almost realistic with a lot of things I wasn't expecting, like peeing and then washing my hands, for instance. Did not see that level of realism coming. Also, I think they have an AI-generated talking program chatbot installed here because when you speak to people, like actually get into a conversation with people, it lets you type stuff in, and then they'll respond to it. And I typed in all manner of random crap, and I always got a different, unique response. It was actually so interesting that I found myself legitimately talking to this computer program. Interesting and terrifying. Also, along with the gameplay, the controls aren't awkward or weird at all, and they work really well with placement and comfortability, which for a game like this with a lot of QTEs is a very, very, very good thing. Alright, so that's all I got to say positively about the game. Now on to the negatives, but before we get into those, I'd like to humbly ask you viewers out there to consider supporting my channel. It only takes you a couple of seconds, but helps my channel out tremendously. Liking, commenting, and subscribing help out a lot, but what helps most of all is sharing. Sharing my channel online and sharing my content online helps me out way more. See, I only get more views if I've already got the views. So it's really ridiculous, and I just really need the help from the community to help me get more seen. So please consider helping me out today. Thank you. Now then, on to the negatives. I honestly don't have a lot to say here, but screw it. I'll just try to get into it. The first negative is the look of the game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie. In my opinion, I think it looks ugly. In almost every aspect, this game looks absolutely terrible. The only time it looked good is during the QTE segments when it has its like flashing neon lights and other colors flashing about. Otherwise, the whole thing just looks awful to me. Now, graphics don't make the game. Gameplay does, so that isn't really that big of a deal to me, but still, some people might not like the look and might not be able to push past that to keep playing. Next up for the negatives is the gameplay. Yes, this was also in the positives as well, but I still needed to make mention of some things. For instance, there's no point in anything in this game. There's nothing to do. You wake up, you go play a street venue, you make $100, and you go home and sleep. If enough time passed, if not, you'll desperately be looking for something, anything, to do. You can get a side job, but the pay is so little that there's literally no point except to use it to help you pass the time. So the gameplay is severely lacking in more stuff to do, at least at this point. Unless I was playing music or writing songs, I was bored out of my mind, and that's not good. Just give us a bunch of fun, like, little things that we can do around town that'll help us in minor ways. Maybe a TV with generic funny commercials or more activities at the bar. Just something. Give me anything to help me pass the time around here. But honestly, that's all I can really think about negatively in this game. Honestly, with more polish and with updated graphics, maybe finishing development, I could actually see this game becoming something really fun and interesting. A little less on the goofy toilet humor and a little more on the serious real-life aspect, and I'd be sold forever. The game has a lot of fun aspects. I mean, you can drive, you can play on your phone, text people, look at gossip, purchase all manner of things. All of this stuff meant to enhance the slice of life experience, plus all the stuff I mentioned earlier, and you can tell they really didn't just slap something together, but actually tried to make something here. It was really interesting to see and to play, so if you're at all interested in this game, then you're not going to be disappointed. It's not finished, true, however, there is enough there to justify the price tag and to keep you invested and entertained for at least a long weekend. Especially, I mean, it's only $13, like that's not bad at all. Plus, it's not finished, so you'll get to keep it and one day play the final version. I mean, in the first 2 hours, you're going to know if you like this game or not, and you can make that whole refund decision yourself. But honestly, while it's not the greatest game I've ever played, it was actually quite fun and interesting. So yeah, if you're interested at all, then give it a shot. I do recommend it. All right, everybody? All right, so that's all the time I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those who stuck around to the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.